It's been called the Marvel problem. Marvel Studios during the recent years have seen a huge drop off when it comes to box office performance, audience reactions, and just how well talked about the brand is. Now, is this just a regular problem, or is this just another phase they will grow out of? This is what we're going to discuss today. And I've chosen to break this down into two main topics, or two main reasons. There might be more reasons to why things have not been looking as good as usual, but these are the two that I believe are the most important. So let's get into it. So firstly, we're going to talk about the amount of projects that have been released. Since the beginning of Phase 4, Marvel Studios have released 35 projects in both television and movies. This includes the TV specials and shorts as well, because to the casual viewer, they probably think that they need to watch that as well. This overwhelming amount of projects in just since the year 2021 is more than they ever could release during the Infinity Saga. And because of that, people have just been so confused about what's actually necessary to watch and what's not. The head of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, himself said that as soon as they had access to Disney Plus, the output just became unreasonable and something that they just needed to put out content to put out content. And in the end it led to a decrease in quality, because he was stretched too thin as well. During the Infinity Saga, he was closely overseeing every movie, but when it became an issue to release as many projects as they did, there was no way he could keep close tabs on every project. This led to maybe people that aren't as focused on the main timeline being in charge. This led to the actual timeline and the build-up of this new saga being a bit more convoluted. In addition to this, the timeline also being more convoluted has come back to hurt Marvel now, with us approaching the Infinity War Endgame level finale without clear build-up. The only real build-up has come from the last two movies, since the earlier projects were building to something else that they then later had to switch from, which was not an ideal situation, but the problem is still the same. There is no real build-up. The second issue is the reviews the projects have been getting. The word of mouth for Marvel has decreased, at least when it comes to their movies and TV shows. And the second issue is very much connected to the first one, because since there is so many projects out, they have had problems keeping the quality up. And since the quality has gone down, people have obviously noticed, and things have been getting worse reviews than projects in Phase 3, for example, which in my opinion is the best phase. And this has also led to viewership and the box office numbers going down. So projects such as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, She-Hulk, Captain America: Brave New World, etc. have been getting pretty poor views if we're thinking what Marvel was used to, which has also led to, over time, the box office for projects going down and projects actually starting to lose some money, which Marvel was not used to at this time. when it comes to the box office, it started out pretty good in Phase 4 because everyone was still on the high after Avengers Endgame. So projects such as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and Thor Love and Thunder still managed to get over 700 million. Doctor Strange even reaching over 900 million. And Deadpool and Wolverine crossing the $1 billion mark. But when it comes to movies such as the Marvels, which barely got over 200 million, and Ant-Man was getting over 500 million, but it still made a loss because of its extreme budget. And in more recent times, Captain America Brave New World getting just a bit over 400 million, Thunderbolts not even getting to 400 million, and Fantastic Four First Steps, as I'm making this video, around 430 million. So this has obviously, the reviews have obviously had a pretty bad effect for Marvel, and it's clear to see that people have started to lose faith in their projects, and it can also be due to the first problem, that there's just too much to watch, so why even bother going to the movies to watch if I'm not going to understand anything? So what can Marvel do to turn the tide on their problems and try to get back on track? Well, I believe that we started to see signs that they are going in the right direction. Kevin Feige himself saying or acknowledging that there have been problems. They have focused too much on the quantity of projects instead of the quality, and that they're now trying or have started to put more focus in what they're actually developing. And I believe we can see signs of that during the last project, even though Thunderbolts was not a financial hit and Fantastic Four is not doing as well as thought. The projects have been both really good and overall were very well received. So if Marvel just continues to make a bit less projects, but they put a lot of focus into those projects, then I believe that people are going to start to come back once they realize that. But at the same time, I also believe that the budgets for these projects are way too high. If we look at the show like She-Hulk, having an insane budget of around 200 million, I believe, and projects such as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania having a $300 million budget, it's not really reasonable to have a budget that high, because then your projects need to make at least 600 to 700 million to be profitable, which was fine before, but now since movie tickets are also going up in price, people are very picky about what they go to the movies to watch. So I believe that at least for now, Marvel has to find a way to cut down on their budgets a bit to make sure that they don't need as much money to be profitable. Because what we saw during Phase 3, where almost any movie could get close to or over $1 billion, I think that time is over, at least for now. So I think that they should be happy with if they can get 500 million, but just keep the budgets down a bit, just to make sure that they actually make a profit. And then if they notice that people are starting to come back, our movies are doing better and better and better, then they could increase the budgets slightly. But I still believe a film having a budget of over 250 million is insane, especially if some parts of the movie are very lackluster. Then it just doesn't really make sense to pour that much money into it. So overall, I think it comes down to these two main issues of too much content and the content not really having the same quality as earlier. However, what do you guys think? Do you guys think there are even more problems? Do you think that Marvel can turn this around? What are you thinking? And how excited are you for the future of Marvel? Do you think that projects such as Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday will start to turn the tide? And what about the reboot? Are you excited for the reboot? Do you think that's the right move? I personally do. I also think that that's another good way to reintroduce people to the universe and kind of start over and start fresh and do things the right way, like Marvel did in 2008 with Iron Man. But that's it for this kind of little video essay. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, subscribe and hit the like button so I know that this is the type of content you want to see. And see you next time.